All right, time now to bring in the Aussie in the NBA Finals, Jack White. We caught up with you during the Western Conference Finals, and I asked you about the possibility of being on this stage at the NBA Finals. How are you soaking all this in? Because it is crazy out here.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, man. It's a bit of a circus. But yeah, as you said, just trying to soak everything in. It's an unreal experience. Definitely something that I'm not taking for granted, and our teams I'm taking for granted. You know, this is history in the making for our organisation, and you know, we're just trying to get the job done at hand. You know, we have 3 more wins to go, and we're trying to pick up a couple of wins here in Miami. But yeah, man, just enjoying the whole experience. It's an unbelievable thing. You dream of these moments as a kid, so to be here now, it's unreal.
So what was the reaction after Game 2? And obviously, you guys swept the Lakers. You win Game 1. Michael Malone suggested that he wasn't too happy with the way you played. So what was the response in the locker room after Game 2? Yeah,
I mean, it was definitely a bit of disappointment, right? Like, I think for our group all year, we're confident with the work that we've put in, and whenever we lose, we really feel like it's on us. You know, we didn't feel like we were as disciplined as we needed to be last game. You know, our effort could have been better in some areas, but you know, we just walked away from that game disappointed. You know, we felt like we let one out on the table, and we still only lose by 3 points with a shot to tie it up and take it to OT. So I mean, credit to the guys for fighting back, but you know, we've got to be better over 48 minutes. And this Miami Heat team's been taking advantage of that all playoffs. You know, being the underdog and doing their thing. And you know, this is a team we need to respect. Obviously, they're here for a reason as well. They got great talent throughout the board. They're highly intelligent. They've been making great adjustments all playoffs. So we need to keep doing that as well. We need to make our adjustments. We need to be better tomorrow, you know, and get our second win of the series.
So you spoke again during the Western Conference Finals about how you're trying to stay involved. What are you seeing when you're on the bench during a game and then able to communicate potentially during timeouts? So what is your role during the game, if anything?
Yeah, I think for me, like I'm sitting on the end of the bench. Like, I don't have the same perspective, obviously, these guys on the floor, but you know, having that different perspective can be good sometimes for, you know, giving a little small feedback to them. And obviously the guys that are on the floor are great players and, you know, on the floor for a reason, you know, so there's really not too much I can say, but just little things like reminding guys to communicate, you know, seeing an action that these guys are going to and just remind them of the scout or how we want to guard it. Just little things like that, little micro adjustments, I think, you know, is what I do, and just giving energy, you know, getting up and about for my teammates. We have a timeout, coming together, giving little bits of feedback, keeping guys in a good headspace. You know, there's so much outside noise and everything going on here. I think just keeping guys as focused as we can at the task at hand, and, you know, keeping guys locked in for 48 minutes is, you know, just about all I can do.
What about you physically? Because we see you still out on the court before some of the games, and you're doing sprints at centre court, and obviously you need to keep yourself in shape for what's to come over the next few months. But what does actually day-to-day look like for you at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's more or less the same as it's been all throughout the regular season. You know, this morning, get a lift in. You know, we're obviously going to practice in front of the media today, but just staying in shape, obviously looking forward to a World Cup selection camp, as well as everything else coming up this summer, and just trying to continue to get better. You know, this is a great environment to get better. I'm surrounded by, you know, some of the best players on the planet right here, and you know, this is a stage that I want to be on as a player on the court within my career. So it's just motivating. I mean, I don't feel like I need too much motivation, but just being in this sort of environment just naturally lifts you up, and yeah, got to get that work in pre-game, post-game, you know, whatever it is, just like the rest of the guys are.
So I want to get to Summer League and potentially the Boomers and the World Cup coming up in just a little bit here, but you've spoken before about Nikola Jokic, and maybe sometimes you guys need to look at him and say, well, we need you to score a little bit more or be a little bit more aggressive in that frame. What did you see in Game 2? Because we've seen both modes so far early in the finals.
Yeah, I think it's not a matter of him trying to score. I think it's just a matter of, as you said, him being aggressive. You know, we have full confidence in Jokic that he's going to make the right reads. If he's doubled, then he's going to make the pass. If he's able to get a bucket, then he's obviously going to go and get a bucket, like he had 41 last game. And I mean, he just does it at such an efficient clip, but it's never forced. So I think for us, you know, we need to do a better job of finding him in his spots where he's more comfortable and keeping space around him so we can make those good decisions. But yeah, I mean, it just depends how they play him. You know, I'm sure that they'll have different adjustments for him in Game 3, the Heat. So yeah, I'm fully confident in him. He's been doing it all year. He's been doing it his whole career, making the right reads and making the right plays and making everyone else around him better. So I have no doubt, that's going to continue to be the case.
And how does he respond as a leader? Because he's one of the more fascinating characters in the league, certainly for mine, just trying to get an understanding of what makes him tick. He's spoken about the game of basketball. So how does he respond? Is he a vocal leader after a game like that?
He's not super vocal, even like during game, pre-game. I'm sure you saw that interview we had post-game where they're like, you giving guys speeches pre-game, and that's just not his role. We have Jeff, Ish, DJ, great vets, great voices in our locker room that, sort of excel at that. And obviously, English is a big fella's second language, and he's fine, but he stays in his lane. He knows what we need from him. He's always super locked in and more of a leader through his actions rather than a verbal thing. But I think that's kind of consistent throughout our whole team. Guys lead in different ways. Guys uplift their teammates in different ways, and I think it's just a well-oiled machine how we are and how everyone fits together within our group.
Yeah, I just looked up. The shadow came over us here, and that was the big fella there going to do one of his many interviews. So. You're the first Australian we've got on this show today. DJ Vasiljevic is just to our left here. What can you tell us about DJ? And it doesn't have to be nice. We don't mind. What dirt can you spill on DJ?
I don't have too much dirt. Me and DJ go way back. We went to the Australian Institute of Sport together. Both played in the ACC. We've been on uni games. Every national team we've pretty much been together on. So it's cool that we've sort of been able to, I guess, go through this whole process in our careers. In a similar way, and for us to be sort of side by side doing it is special. It's awesome to have him here and to be able to catch up. I haven't been able to see him for about a year since Summer League last year. So just having him around is a really cool thing. I love his game. He's such an elite scorer. Obviously, back-to-back championships with Sydney in the NBL over these last 2 years, and he's been a big part of that. But man, he can really put the ball in the hole. He's a bucket. Great dude. I've known him for over 10 years now, so great friend.
Jack, we knew that you were going to be far too nice when it came to DJ, and DJ will have his right of reply next on Nothing But Net.